Hi, this is Louie Mack.
And you're listening to
the Vulgar Parenting Podcast.
Episode 19. What's up? This is Scotty Boombox, and you're listening to the Vulgar Parenting Podcast. Yes. Back again, ladies and gentlemen. We curse, we drink, we laugh, and we parent. This is the Vulgar Parenting Podcast. Thank you for listening. Subscribe now on iTunes. Give us that 5-star rating on iTunes and we will read it on air, no matter what it says. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/TheVP Podcast. Follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at Vulgar Parenting. Email the show, vulgarparenting@gmail.com. And of course, check out everything we do at vulgarparenting.com. The Vulgar Parenting Podcast is produced by SHS Audio Department. Check out shsaudiodepartment.com for all your pro audio needs, including DJ services, audiobook and podcast production, music production and music licensing, multimedia services, and creative consulting. Check out shsaudiodepartment.com. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors at Technically Speaking, the YouTube channel that is a must subscribe for anyone that loves rants, raves, and reviews on technology from audio and video gear to smartphones, from Google to Apple and apps. Peachy and Greg are putting it down weekly for all those tech lovers out there at youtube.com/Technically Speaking. Go now, leave that comment, tell them that you heard about this fantastic channel on the VPP, baby. All right. Just me and Choops in the booth tonight.
Just the two of us.
President Miller.
Which version would you prefer?
Ooh, the Will Smith version. Come
Will
on.
Smith?
Yeah, getting jiggy with it. Yep.
Dope.
We are still sans President Miller.
Our bodyguard.
Our CFO.
Still out.
We're out of money. We're out of protection. Because Miller is still on the lam on the East Coast doing it up.
But
Hampton style.
But he'll be back next week.
That's right. He's
Yep,
finally
this is the
coming
last
back.
week of.
It's finally coming back.
Well, I mean, last week we had a replacement.
We did.
The beautiful Whitney.
She did a fine job.
This week it's just us.
Just us.
A lot more pressure on us.
Couldn't get anyone else to show up. Just kidding. It's a
be honest here.
little teaser there. All right. Well, all right, let's get down to it.
What's up?
As a vulgar parent, I ask myself, what's up with these headlines? We have a special edition
Oh
of
yeah,
What's
we do.
Up.
So we're just gonna switch it up today.
Shout out to Blue Lives Matter.
So this week
All law enforcement.
is going to be a law enforcement special
Yes.
in the What's Up category.
I love it. I love it. First up, hoverbike riding police are to patrol the streets of Dubai from 16 feet above the ground.
Now, if I were to ask you, any city in the world is going to have hoverbike riding police.
First guess.
First guess you would
First
nail
guess.
it.
Dubai.
Yeah, obviously it's
yeah.
Dubai.
And second, who supplied them? The Russians. The hoverbikes are being manufactured by the Russians and can double as unmanned drones. That's the most interesting part here. You don't really need they can fly on their own.
Yeah.
But we're going to put a dude on top because he could jump down on top of you like the hobgoblin.
And it's 16 feet. I mean, that's a
Dude,
substantial.
you could seriously get
that's like a basketball hoop plus 6 feet.
Dude, it's intense. I could not imagine.
And they go like 45 miles an hour too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that ain't like flying, but
No.
a crowded street. Like, what do? You're like stuck in traffic, and like just this police officer is like some jets and shit.
Dude, I would instantly be wondering, am I on mescaline? What did I do? Is this a weird flashback from my old druggy days? Dude.
Can't help you.
Also worried, he could just, I've seen a bike cop crash. It's pretty comical because they look like idiots anyways on bikes.
Yeah.
Could you imagine innocent bystander, fucking your Russian-made hover bike suddenly flips itself into reverse. You're flying into the side of a building. You're falling off of it into the crowd. I also have to think, you're in Dubai. I don't want to be on a motorcycle. It's like 110 degrees there. I don't want to be outside.
I mean, you might get a good tan up there. Nothing blocking the rays.
Bro, everyone in Dubai is brown. They're not worried about a tan. No one is worried about a tan in Dubai. Maybe the models.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe the models.
Well, but did you actually watch? There's a video of it. Did you watch the video?
No.
Okay.
Oh God.
So there's a video of like somebody on this thing like cruising around, but then it like ends with like, because of course in
quote unquote ends.
well, you know, so but like in the United States, our police officers drive around in like, you know, the Dodge Chargers, Crown Vics.
Sure.
I know they're doing the SUVs.
Yeah.
Well, in Dubai, their police officers have like Lamborghinis
Yeah,
and
no shit. Of course they
Ferraris and
fucking
stuff.
do. Yeah.
So it's this last.
I would love to get arrested. I would love to ride around
Yeah,
in
like
a
this
Lambo.
is awesome.
Dude, they pick
So
up in a Lambo? Yeah, I got a Dewey. Take me home.
This is awesome. No, but it's like 4 cars, and I mean they're all like, you know, $150,000, $250,000, $300,000 cars.
Yeah.
Kind of cruising behind this hover bike going up above, like just with the music going, and
Is
it's
this
actually
just-
pretty sweet.
It's
Like-
a parade of money.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
a fucking money parade. All
Yeah.
that oil money.
All
They
the
don't know
oil
what
money.
else to do with it at this point.
Yeah. Hover bikes for our police officers.
You know what else?
Like
they need to
whose
wear?
side? Like
yeah.
the mayor just like,
Yeah, they're like, yep.
yeah, sure, whatever.
What else do they need? Sir, we also believe they need Google glasses. Yep, throw some fucking Google glasses on those fucking stormtroopers. Whatever. Do they have ray guns? Nope, not yet. They do now. Like,
Ching.
ching. Or here's a fucking blank check. Get yourself some fucking
Company
hover
credit
bikes.
card?
Jesus Christ.
It's like they're giving a bunch of 12-year-olds the company credit card and just being like, buy whatever you think the police force needs.
Dude, sometimes what they are making over there, it's like a toddler told it to you in a fucking episode of like, kids say the darndest things. It's like, no, we're going to like air condition. We're going to have cool sand on the hot sands of Dubai. Like, we're going to air condition from underground all of our beaches. Like, what the fuck?
Sure, let's do it.
I love it. All right.
What's up?
Continuing with our law enforcement focused What's Up segment here. By the way, time out. I love that you and I just decided, yeah, a couple risky guys. Let's talk law enforcement today.
Yeah, because clearly that's my strong suit.
Oh my God. Well, this next one comes
I
to
feel
us
like I'm a
from
junior lawyer with half my friends. Yeah, let me tell you how to get out of this.
dude. I have parlayed my experience with my friends, and they're like law enforcement. I have new rules around the house that are specifically like have come about from my friends' run-ins with law enforcement.
Oh, I was talking the complete opposite end. Like I'm talking like my friends are getting arrested and like how to get out of charges.
Oh, okay. Well, see,
Junior lawyer, like defense attorney.
because our friends are getting arrested, I put forth a new rule in my household where if my son leaves a Pokemon card out on the floor and I see it and it's not put away, it gets put into Pokemon jail, which is a jar
Smart.
on top of the fridge, and then he has to raise up and he has to do enough chores to get bail money to bail his fucking Pokemon out.
What kind of chores are we talking? Like to get a Pokemon out. Like
You gotta
you gotta
pay the bail bonds. Well, first we
Yeah.
talk about the 10% of the actual
Absolutely.
bond. He's got to know that rule.
Yeah.
Okay, so like one thing is like, okay, there can be no toys on the floor. I'm not handing him a can of Pledge to spray in his eye.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, you and your sister have made a complete mess of my pristine temple here. There are no toys on the floor. They're all in baskets or put away. You get $2.
How much does a Pokemon card buy?
It just depends on my attitude, how I'm feeling that day.
Because like
the
a
judge.
pack of Pokemon cards can only be a couple bucks, right?
Now it's like $12, dude.
Are you shitting me?
Dude, Pokemons are fucking expensive.
Damn, I figured it'd be like $4 or $5 for a pack. I'm like, why the fuck is he gonna save up to get this one out when he can get an entire pack for like 3 chores?
Well, they sit in a glass case on top of the fridge, so
So
like
just teasing him,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's always a good one.
Yeah.
right. It's never the like, oh, that one doesn't like the little flower one.
Dad, I'm missing my Gengar that is a plus 20. I don't know what the fuck these things are, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, son, did you pay enough? Did you raise enough money to
Did
pay all
you,
the
do
bail
you have
bondsmen?
like those like little like thermometer things you had in school and stuff like that?
For the fundraiser?
Exactly. Do you give one of those? Like, all right, you're two chores away.
All right. Next up in What's Up, let's
And we got
let's hit it
sidetracked.
again. Here we go.
What's up?
Inmates sneak back into jail after breaking out.
Wait a minute. Read it again.
What's up?
Inmates sneak back into jail after breaking out.
Yes. So you at home did hear that properly.
A group of Mississippi inmates busted out of jail this week, burglarized a bargain store, and then broke back in and returned to their cells. The jail,
Undetected.
first off, the fact that they got away with it, that they hit up a Dollar General.
For like cigarettes, cell phones, and like lighters and shit like that.
Dude, that's a dope Dollar General, though. I mean, down in Mississippi, like our Dollar General up here in us Yankees don't have these Southern
They stole
Dollar
cigarettes,
Generals.
cigarette lighters, phones, and just items they felt they could sell in jail. So they robbed a Dollar General, broke out of jail,
Dude.
robbed a Dollar General, got back into jail, and took things they thought they could sell to make money in jail.
You can't knock the hustle, bro.
Oh.
Like Jay-Z said, you cannot knock the hustle.
Like, I think in the article the sheriff bases like, I've heard it all now because like I feel like, you know, we've all seen The Rock or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your
Yeah.
goal, like, I mean, you're taught that like prisoners, all they do think is all day of how I can get out. How can I get out? How can I get
Yeah,
out?
this story's
These-
so similar to The Rock. Yeah.
4 guys figure out how to get out of Alcatraz. I'm assuming they're at Alcatraz.
Yeah, sure.
The Mississippi Alcatraz.
Yeah, the Alcatraz of the Mississippi. Yes.
That's right. And they get out and they go a mile down the road to the Dollar General,
Rob the shit out of it.
rob it, and then go, you know what we should do?
Sell this shit.
In jail.
I know some dudes that would pay good commissary dollars for this.
Oh, fucking amazing.
Oh my
Like the
fucking
thought
God,
process of
dude.
this. Like they thought it out. Like they figured out how to get out.
I got a great idea, guys.
And they didn't get detected in or out.
Dude, I fucking
I'm
love
very
these
passionate about
guys,
this.
dude.
This is amazing.
I'm very passionate about this. They've struck a chord.
Absolutely.
They struck a chord with me.
Like if I
Here's
could
a
give
great
them,
quote.
if
Here's a
any
great
of them are
quote.
parents, I would give them the vulgar parent of the week.
I think we may give it to him anyways.
You know.
Quote, "You're already in jail, but you want to break out and break back in," the chief said. That is just something I heard it all.
Yeah.
That is just something I've heard it all. I mean, I can imagine being like the warden, and then you get like the report from like the new guy, and you're like, "Listen, new guy, okay, you're gonna have to redo this report. It's full of typos. This makes no fucking
Yeah.
sense. I've been in the business long enough.
So
when
no-
they break out, they don't break
They
back
don't
in,
come back
buddy.
in.
Yeah, give me a report that makes some sense, buddy.
Yeah.
Retype this up."
So they were here when you at night. They were here in the morning, and you're telling me that they left and came back with cell phones, candy, and cigarettes. Sure.
Yeah. Fucking. I like that you're throwing candy because they probably stole some Chico sticks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. And finally, in this week's What's Up,
What's up?
a police officer has been handed an indefinite suspension over his relationship with a prostitute. This comes to us from San Antonio, where a police officer's relationship with a woman accused of being a prostitute has cost him his job. Well, Officer Woloski is accused of violating department policy for his alleged relationship with Tracy Helmke, who's described in the paperwork as a, quote, drug abuser with a history of prostitution arrests and convictions. The department alleges Helmke made an active warrant for prostitution in July of 2016 when Woloski began dating her and allowed her to live with him.
Okay.
You know, we all want to mend the bird with the broken wing.
There's a movie about this.
Oh, God, is it called White Chicks?
No.
No. I feel like that was the same plot.
No, that was with like the Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
They had, like
It's
whiteface and some blackface.
And then they move in with a cop. They're prostitutes. The cops get fired. Must have been a different movie. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a movie about it. It's got Julia Roberts and I think is it Richard Gere's in it.
I don't know.
Pretty Woman?
Oh, Pretty Woman, a classic.
Yeah,
Never saw it.
I've never seen it either, but I know what it's about.
It's about a hooker, right?
Yeah, Julia Roberts, a prostitute,
And they
falls in love.
Oh,
She
love.
chains it up. Like
This
she goes
ruins
from
everything.
streetwalker to
Love ruins everything.
fancy. Yeah, and it's so you make this like love story about it, and for all these years, I'm supposed to believe like this is how life works, and now you're telling me the San Antonio Police Department can't do it?
Oh, Lord. So this guy's got a laundry list of crap he's done for this woman, right? As a police officer.
As a police
listen,
officer.
Listen. do whatever you want for whomever you love, okay?
Yeah.
But when you're a cop, there's some pretty strict guidelines you're expected to live by.
He is not paying her for sex, though, right? They're dating, which means they're in a relationship. So it's not like
You can argue it because he allegedly paid $530 to a bond company to get her out of a jail warrant for 2 separate prostitution charges.
I've bailed my friends out of jail before, but
You've never slept with
I
them.
never expected sexual favors. I did this because I want this person out of jail.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then in January, so that was October.
They also said that he paid like 6 months rent for her or something like that.
He signed a 6-month lease for her, began paying for an apartment for her in March. Before that, in January, she had made a 911 call to cops to report him. And when the officers arrived, he couldn't be found. She couldn't be found. And he said, "Don't worry, I'm a cop." And they didn't report it. They were like, "Okay, buddy, this is your one get out of jail free card. We're not going to tell you."
Or maybe they just sat there and said, "Hey, I'm a cop." Like,
Yeah,
and
not
they're like,
it's
"Oh
not
yeah,
surprising.
he's
Not
a cop.
surprising.
He's not doing anything shady."
Or it's like, you kind of stick up for your own. And if she's not there at the time.
Yeah. What
Okay.
are you gonna do?
All right. Okay, so then in March, he signs a 6-month lease, starts paying for her apartment.
Mhm.
In April, yet another disturbance between the two. And then finally, it hits the fan. This dude, quote, the department finally issued a statement. Officer Woloski's actions constitute a serious behavioral infraction, which does not align with the ethical standards of every SAPD officer, San Antonio Police Department. As a result, he's been issued an indefinite suspension. I will tell you, though, when you in love, you take a picture like this dude's mugshot. This dude, he's like, I love her, though, guys. He's smiling. He's got
a hard
glasses. Yeah, he's kind of cheesing for it, man.
He's got a cheese.
He's not embarrassed. He's like, but dude, when we on. It's fire.
Well,
Totally worth it.
I mean,
You ever been in one of those bad relationships where the sex was so good? I mean, that you put up with more crap than you probably should? You don't have to answer this. You should just answer with your eyes. Blink once for yes, twice for no. Amber will never know. Excellent. Okay,
what
good
am I
enough.
doing?
Good,
I don't
good,
know.
good.
I forgot
Good
what was yes, what was no.
enough.
Anyway, here's the thing though. It's like, I get it. Like, dude, trying to fix, like you said, trying to fix the broken wing.
Everybody wants to mend the bird with a broken wing.
Boom. And I mean, if my
He fell
wife,
for it.
fiance, girlfriend, whatever does something wrong, like, I don't get charged for it, right? So like, why is this guy in trouble? Because his girlfriend is a drug abusing hooker.
I feel like because
But what did he do wrong? If he's sitting there like, I'm paying for a place for her to live, we are dating, as long as he's not doing drugs with her, like, I don't know
the
what leg
fact-
they can stand on.
he's not I think the fact that he was pressuring his colleagues to not report it
Is the thing that
is
like
an issue.
I get
right.
that. Okay.
Yeah. There were factual errors, so
I think he did smudge one of her police reports.
oh yeah. I don't think you're probably not allowed to post bond for people that are been arrested by your department. It's probably bad luck. I'm sure there's some code of ethics too where it's like,
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm dude's lawyer,
don't
'cause
pick
he
your
is,
girlfriend
he
out
is
of cell block C over there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I'm the guy's lawyer, I'm sitting there, I'm like, technically, the San Antonio Police Department cannot tell my man what he could, if he's not doing anything illegal with his money,
Mhm.
and they can't tell him who he's dating.
I tell you what though, if he was in Dubai, they're like, do whatever the fuck you want. We'll
That's
probably
right.
give you
Here's
money.
the-
What do you 6-month lease? What a dump. Here, give her a hoverboard.
That's right.
You could follow her around in a Lambo. Oh my god. Well, I feel for this guy because he's obviously in love. And in his mugshot,
Sorry, Mark.
God, he looks happy as shit.
Yeah.
He looks so happy because he's probably thinking like, what's the makeup sex after that? It's like, babe, I got a mugshot because of you.
Yeah. I got fired because of you.
I'm getting it in tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're putting out for this.
Shoot up. Let's do this.
Shoot. God.
Sorry.
Well, with that in mind, it's time. Guiding Life. In this week's Guiding Life, 3 lucky listeners have been selected to receive parenting and relationship advice from the life coach, Ryan Choops. Get your life guided by sending your questions to Coach Choops at Ryan C. Life Coach on Twitter or email ryanchoopslifecoach@gmail.com. Get your life right at ryanchoopslifecoach.com. Here we go. First up, Gary in Indiana. Literally thought he had written in from Gary, Indiana.
That's a suspect place.
Gary from Indiana.
Okay.
Yes, Gary, Indiana is very suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of vulgar parenting of the week. He's coming out of Gary, Indiana. All right. So Gary in Indiana writes, Coach Choops.
What's up, Gary?
My wife and I finally had a baby.
Congrats.
It's our first, and we are definitely, quote, helicopter parents. But I feel like she's way too worried about a lot of the little things. How do we get her to chill out some? Love the show. Keep doing what you do.
Perfect.
Thanks, Gary in Indiana. Thanks for writing an excellent question.
I mean, obviously, I think that if you kind of go back to some of our previous episodes, we've kind of broached the helicoptering parenting, and first child, obviously, that's going to happen. And I don't know, obviously, like what your wife is sitting there and like freaking out about, like your kid doing and stuff like that.
Quote everything, right?
Quote everything.
Right.
I would show her that she's overreacting.
Okay.
By doing the things that she doesn't want your child to do.
Oh, him acting it out like role playing.
Exactly.
Ooh, I like this.
And when she doesn't react because he's an adult and is making the conscious decision to do whatever your child's doing, you can be like, so it's okay for me to do it, but not your child. Is that what you're telling me? And like, kind of like, show her that you'll survive. The kid will be okay. You're overreacting. Like if it's not a big deal when I'm doing it, why is it a big deal when little Timmy's doing it? Gary,
put that Depends diaper on, put a passy in your mouth, and start role playing some of this stuff in front of her.
I'm not saying you have to do that, but like if your kid,
I took your advice.
I'm just saying, like if a kid puts a Lego in his mouth, like put a Lego in your mouth. It's like, see, not a big deal.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff that like.
I'm not saying you have to like put a diaper on, but
it makes sense with the first kid because you're kind of all up in arms because you don't really know what's going to fly. You got to remember
these things are tanks. Like you're not going to hurt it.
Yeah, kids are flexible. They're like cats. They always land on their feet. You know, got 9 lives.
9 lives.
That's right. Gary, act it out. See how it goes. Help her in the moment to try and relax.
Realize that it's not that big of a deal.
But also remember, if you're trying to get her to chill out some, you better point this out in a real fucking chill manner. Because a mom with a baby, when you point out her parenting's wrong, it's not going to go real chill at first. So you want her to chill out, come with that chill approach too.
Boom.
Trust me. Thanks for writing in. Excellent question. Stacy in Washington, D.C. writes, Coach Choops, my husband is constantly on his phone when we finally get the kids down to bed. And it's finally, quote, adult time. Ooh, I like that. How do I get him to put his phone down and pay more attention to me? Love the podcast. Keep it up. Thanks, Stacy.
All right, Stacy.
How is she going to get her husband's attention after the kids have gone to bed?
So
I get it.
And
everyone's tired.
She puts the adult time in quotations,
which makes me think Mama's ready for some adult time.
Yeah. Well, and that's my thing is like, well, which way are we going with this? Like adult time? Are we talking like we finally get to watch the TV show that the kids can't watch?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, NCIS or something. I don't watch it. But.
Jesus Christ, what a terrible choice there. Yeah.
Well, what show would you pick? What show do you and Whitney watch? Or
what's something that the kids should not watch?
That you and Whitney do watch.
Oh God, we don't agree on anything on the TV.
Okay, what does Whitney watch and you get to watch?
Sometimes she watches The Bachelor.
The Bachelor, which
I can't handle that
Louis and Lena probably should not be watching.
No, there's a lot of Frenching, loose women, loose men, alcohol, drunken screaming.
Not a lot of morals.
Bad problem solving, decision making. Yeah.
Okay. Which we don't want our kids to be exposed to, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And if this is the case, because I know I'm guilty of this all the time, my fiance gets mad at me, not all the time, but like.
What?
I know, hard to believe.
All right, it's okay.
Mind blown over here.
From the mouth of the expert here. Yeah.
Yeah, so she gets mad at me sometimes because, like, you know, when we came into a relationship, there were certain television shows that we both watched.
Mm-hmm.
The shows that I watch, I have to watch on my own time. So I have to find time when she's not around for me to watch my TV shows.
Okay.
Now, the shows that she watches, I get to watch with her.
Oh, okay.
So it's
All right.
okay, you know, you want me to watch your shows and stuff like that, but you also have to remember that I don't have a vested interest in a lot of them, and I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, you really don't care. Yeah, usually.
So a lot of times, like,
Fuck
I'll
this.
sit there and be like, "Yeah, fuck it," and I'll,
Yeah.
you know, dick around on the internet or play games on my phone, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm laying with her and stuff like that, but I'm not paying attention to the TV show because I don't know what's going on. A and B, I don't really care to know what's going on.
Mhm. So you're on your phone.
So I'm on my phone.
There you go.
You know, so if adult time is watching a TV show, I would encourage you to find something that you guys can both get into. Because, like, if it's something that, I mean, this is coming from me personally, if it's something that I want to watch, we watch it. So if it's a show that we watch together that we both enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on my phone because I'm invested in a TV show.
There you go.
So that would be adult time number one.
One. Yep.
Option one is
1A.
stuff like that. If we're going the other direction in the quotations of adult time,
Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, maybe
Maybe it's some
little-
post-baby body.
Oh,
you know,
come on,
weird
that
thing.
don't matter.
You
That
wouldn't
don't
think. I
matter.
know, but I mean, I've read about that. I have no qualms with that. Yeah.
Oh, but you my girl, let's do this.
That's come on, like
Yeah.
I know.
So,
Right?
like,
What's the issue
but
there?
to me, I would sit there and say, if that's the case, show him what he's missing out.
There you go.
Show him what you're like. Here's your thing:
Show and tell.
you can have this, or you can do that.
You can get with this, or you can get with that.
Exactly. And if he chooses the phone,
Divorce court.
yeah.
Yeah, you got issues.
This
Yeah,
isn't
that's
gonna work.
not gonna fix. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he ain't. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's time to put that phone down.
Maybe she needs to raise the flag a little higher.
It's
Put
time
a
to
brighter
dim
flag.
it,
Yeah.
dim the lights a little bit,
Light a candle.
and get that adult time going.
Let me set the mood right.
That's what I needed to hear.
Yeah. I went low first, and I was like, he didn't really respond, so I'm gonna hit him with that falsetto, you know, aka
Ridiculous.
the panty dropper. Stacy, panty dropper is exactly what you need to be doing. Put a little wine and dine on him.
Yeah,
if
that's right.
not, get that Netflix cue right. You know,
Yeah, one of the two.
I understand there's a lot of stuff to keep you busy out in DC, but work on that. Finally, our third writer writes in. It's Rico in San Juan.
This is our first out of the United
Yeah.
States. I
There
don't
we
even know
go.
if we've had a Canadian one yet.
I think San Juan is in. Where is San Juan? Mexico?
Puerto Rico,
No way.
Colombia.
Definitely
know.
not America, though. It could be like San Juan, Idaho.
If only Miller was here, we'd have stats on it.
I know. Come on, stats. Rest in peace. Miss you, Miller. Come back from the dead. Roll away the stone, my brother. All right. Rico in San Juan writes.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto
so it
Rico.
is basically the United States, right?
Here we go. Rico writes, Coach Choops, I'm pretty sure that my son is selling weed for money. Can't blame him because times are tough and the family is financially strapped due to some medical bills. However, I want him to be safe. What should I do? Keep up the good work. Good to hear everything you do for the guys that are your listeners. Rico, wow.
Rico.
Thanks for writing in first off.
yeah.
Thanks for the support. Man, I wonder how old his son is.
Yeah.
That's a big piece.
I mean,
but
I'm going
damn,
teens.
let's
That
go
would be my
teens and
guess.
higher. Yeah.
Teens, because if he's sitting there, I think he said something about like helping out or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's selling weed, times are tough, the family's financially strapped. So I'm assuming that he's doing it to kind of help the family
He's
out.
on that hustle. Here we go.
On the hustle for the family. I mean, I feel like there's one of two routes that we could take this.
Okay.
We could be a good parent,
Mm.
and I could tell the kid, you know, Why don't you try and like get a job, like
I already
bagging
feel like this is
groceries?
not, yeah, no.
I mean, you could do that.
Okay.
I feel like though in your question that you've already accepted that and you're cool with him doing it. You just want him to be safe.
Yeah.
So you decided to go the vulgar parent route. I mean, obviously you're a subscriber and a listener to the Vulgar Parenting Podcast. So I respect that. You're going the vulgar parent route. As far as like, I want you to be safe, like drug dealing. I don't know if he's run into some issues. If we need to arm the child, maybe
Yeah, you may want to get your kid a gun.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, so San Juan is in Puerto Rico. I just looked it up.
Okay.
Tough times there right now.
Yeah.
Hurricane Irma followed by Hurricane. What was the M1?
I don't even know.
It was bad.
Can't even keep up with it.
Yeah, so it's bad. Things are rough. I imagine the streets
Terrible.
are pretty rough, like no power and stuff like that. So
Slanging that weed,
we
though.
may, a gun might not be a horrible idea.
I think you should definitely get a gun.
Probably get a gun.
I think you should get a cut, though. I mean,
And
if you're going to do this
well,
out
if
of
he's
my house,
it sounds like he's helping the family. Like you're selling drugs to help out the family, and for some reason you're okay with it. I mean, I guess give him whatever support you need. But I'm assuming that you listened to episode. This is 19, episode 18 about the mom who got charged with a felony
for buying weed for her daughter.
Make sure you have plausible deniability.
Yeah, you need
as
to
much
not
as you
know
want
what's
to
going on. Exactly.
As long as I know you want your son to be safe and stuff like that, but make sure there's plausible deniability to separate yourself from this, because he's a kid. I can't imagine kids are that responsible of drug dealers, and he's probably going to get caught.
But you got to inspect what you expect too. I mean, management 101. Let's get back to the Harvard Business Review on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, find out where are you getting it from. What's your cost? What's your overhead? What's the ROI on this thing?
There you go.
Okay, what's your risks? Son, have you really thought about all of the ins
Who
and
are
outs
you
on
selling
this?
to?
Who's your clientele? Exactly. How much risk are you actually taking? What are your blind spots? What do you not know that maybe an old dog like Rico in San Juan can help out his son with? Could be some bonding shit right there. You know? Be like, hey, Pops has a,
That's an idea.
That's right.
Smart.
Well, Rico, thanks for writing in. Best of luck to you. Prayers for Puerto Rico. I hope that our government gets off their ass and actually helps the fine people down in Puerto Rico out. So, all right. Coach Choops, excellent work this week.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic surprise guest as President Miller is still on vacation on the East Coast in the Hamptons.
Still out of here.
We called in a favor, and I'm pleased to announce, I would do this introduction a real disservice if I didn't let Life Coach Choops hand it out here.
All right. So, as always, our favorite segment is the Vulgar Parent of the Week. I think that's the
consensus, absolutely.
the spine of this great program that we put on.
The hub of which the wheel rotates.
And the issue is, if it was just the two of us, it would be a tie. Because
Right.
let's be honest here, we're not going to agree on anything.
Had to get a third.
So, what other person to help pick out the Vulgar Parent of the Week
Oh, yeah.
than my very own parent, Julia?
Who is not the vulgar parent.
She will not be the Vulgar Parent of the Week because she did a phenomenal job
Phenomenal job.
raising a grade A
Miss Choops.
class act
Miss
life
Choops
coach
B.
in the house.
B. Mine's a B.
B.
Amazing.
But the other kids are A's.
oh my God.
Let's be
I
honest.
don't know.
here.
Let me think about this.
You have to turn your mic way up. You're so soft spoken. How did you raise this this not so soft spoken gentleman to your left? That's amazing. All right, guys, let's get to it. It's time to find out.
You are the vulgar parent of the week.
Ever think you're a bad parent? Well, don't get so damn down on yourself, because these next three parents will make you feel like you have a bachelor's degree in early childhood development. This week's Vulgar Parent of the Week is brought to you by romantic and suspense mystery novelist Deborah Gaskill, whose latest novel, Kissing Fits, is available now on Amazon and at DeborahGaskillNovels.com. In the fourth installment of her Fits series, a woman is found shot dead on her couch. a mayor with something on the side. These two cases take a surprising turn in the next Fitz detective novel, Kissing Fitz, available now on Amazon.com and at DeborahGaskellNovels.com. Be sure to mention the Vulgar Parenting Podcast sent you. All right, Choops family. I feel like Steve Harvey at Family Feud here.
We're not feuding.
I know.
We might be if she doesn't side with me on that.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Here we go. First up, we've got 3 sets of parents this week.
Yes.
All competing for the coveted title.
Vulgar parents.
Vulgar parents.
We figured with my parent here, we would do a parents grouping.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week we went with we focused on mothers because my wife was on the podcast
Mother
this
of your
week.
children, my parent, all
That's
parents.
right, mother of my children. I should clarify. That's kind of weird. Was that Freudian? Is that called a Freudian slip? Whatever. All right. First up, a possessed child is kicked out of the house. This comes to us from Hooks, Texas. Headline: and Texas couple accused of telling their possessed 7-year-old to hit the road. A Hooks, Texas man and his wife were out on bond after being arrested on charges of abandoning and endangering a child in August. Ronald Keith Wright and Rendy Wright. Rendy? That's a real name? It should be a
Randy
W.
with an E.
Randy with an E. Rendy White.
Randy. That sounds like an East Texas name right there.
Sounds
Almost trendy.
like. Oh, I like that. I like that. Excellent.
You know what's probably not trendy is telling your child to hit the road.
Hit the bricks. You're possessed.
Yeah, you
Did the head do a 360
Yeah,
before they kicked him out?
I would hope so.
Exactly. Quick sidebar. Did you ever think about kicking out your possessed son when he was 7?
When he was 7? No. 17?
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably.
She said maybe, but she was nodding yes.
I'm
for the
pretty
listeners
sure when
at
I
home.
moved out, she told me that this was probably the best thing for us.
Yeah. I said, don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Where the good Lord split you. Don't let
That's
the
right.
door hit you where the good Lord split you.
We turned out all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, they refused to let their 7-year-old son into their home after he got home from visiting with a neighbor. The couple told the child that he was asked to leave the home and never to return. They told the authorities that they said that the boy would not mind what he was told and that they had indeed told the child he couldn't come back. They said that he was possessed by demons. Side note, they also admitted to using methamphetamine as a hobby. I love how they call
Recreational
it hobby.
methamphetamine
Yeah, hobby.
is completely
So-
different than being a meth addict, though.
God-fearing, because the child is obviously possessed by demons.
Yeah. It said they
Meth
talked to a
users.
pastor.
Wow. About their meth or about their child or
Hopefully both.
probably a combo.
Yeah.
Did they call the
Conversation.
Ghostbusters?
Oh, I like that. They should have called the Ghostbusters.
Oh.
The female or male version of Ghostbusters?
Let's
going
not
f-
get into that discussion.
I'm going all in LA. I'm going to female. It's 2017, y'all.
You're going off. You're
Oh,
going.
yeah, dude.
So if you,
The future is female. Let's be real.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying. So if you sat there and your wife said we're watching Ghostbusters
Mm-hmm.
tonight, pick 1980s or 2000, and did it come out in 17 or 16? Whenever it came out,
Who knows? Yeah.
you're picking the new one.
I've never seen the new one, so yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and women's liberation. I'm all for it. I was raised by a liberal single mom. She was a single mom for a while, but anyway,
Still being raised by your wife.
still being raised by
That's
it's
true.
still, women make my world go round still to this day. So
Well,
yeah,
there you go.
absolutely. All right, so they kicked their kid out. Let's get back.
I would
They
hope
kicked
that
their
they
kid
were
out.
high on meth, but I'm assuming that they're not because they made a conscious decision. Like
Yeah.
they're not like on meth. Like go you.
No, it wasn't
possessed
like
spawn. Like they're like
yeah. It wasn't like this
they weren't
afternoon.
even
I
nice
thought
enough
you
to
were
like
possessed.
pack them a backpack with some like string cheese and a couple bottles of water or anything like that.
Well, then
Some
they-
animal crackers.
Then they'd have an alibi. They'd be like, "Why'd you send him to camp? We thought he was going to camp."
But, well,
All right, excellent first candidate
coming out hard.
for Vulgar Parent of the Week. It's going to be a hard one to beat, but this next set of parents is going to try their darndest. This one comes to us from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. A Beaver County couple has been charged with punishing their 12-year-old daughter by subjecting her to waterboarding. Wow.
What's waterboarding?
Excellent question.
That
Choops,
is where
take
it's
it
gonna go
away.
in.
Please explain
So-
waterboarding to your mother.
Waterboarding is something that the United States government has gotten in trouble for doing to
Prisoners.
prisoners that they detained on suspects of being a terrorist.
It's literally...
So what you do is you lay somebody flat on their back and put a towel over their face and pour water over top of them, and it simulates drowning.
Because it's a choking drowning. It's a
Yeah.
horrible thing. It has been condemned by the United Nations
Yes,
as a
like-
literal form of torture.
Yeah.
So
And this couple did it to their 12-year-old
They
daughter.
did it. They didn't threaten. They
No,
did it.
they actually waterboarded their
Oh
12-year-old
my
daughter.
gosh.
So Dion Stevens, 33, and Melissa Stevens, 41, face several felony charges.
As they should.
Yeah. They said that their attorney is in communication with the officer who has filed the charges, and they're scheduling a time and date to turn themselves
Oh, so they're
in.
still on the lam here.
They're definitely on the lam. So
Where's their 12-year-old daughter? Because I want to make sure that the 12-year-old is nowhere near
Now,
these two.
here's amazing how they got caught, right? The police were alerted in April to the incident after a referral was made to Childline, the state's child abuse hotline. And a caseworker from the Beaver County Children and Youth Services told the police that the couple, quote, openly admitted that they had waterboarded their daughter because they were punishing her.
What did she do?
That's the million-dollar question. I'm looking here.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
But does it really matter? Because you could say nothing or you could say anything.
And it wouldn't matter.
No.
Because they
there's
tried
no-
to drown their child.
If
Well,
the
it
US
simulates
isn't-
drowning. They're not actually drowning.
It's just simulated.
Simulated drowning.
Let's
That makes
dial
it
back.
better.
Yeah, exactly. But if the United Nations has said
If the United
you
Nations said
may
you
have been
cannot
involved,
do this to
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
who's in ISIS or Al Qaeda,
you may have
probably
flown a
shouldn't-
plane into a tower, but you're still not allowed to use this as a questioning or punishment technique. It's still outside the lines. And these folks are like, nope, she is
12-year-old daughter. Here we go.
again, failure to control your child results in terrible decisions.
It's bad. That's actually really bad.
Now that you know what waterboarding is, had you ever thought about waterboarding the life coach or his brother or sister?
Well, I guess I could have used that as a form of punishment. It might have been
It
better.
probably
than,
would have been towards me, too. It had to have been me.
It would have been better than trying to run over you with a van.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Maybe. I don't know.
I do like that now that she knows what it is. She's like, possibly.
Actually, come to think
It's a
of it.
hard maybe for right now. I mean,
Let's-
you're
I
lucky
have-
she didn't find out what it was earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
know?
God this wasn't in the news like 20 years ago.
I have all the resources at hand. I have a towel and some water.
See, this is, much
Easy.
easier.
It's easy.
Easy.
Much easy.
Easy. Right. All right. Well, excellent second candidate this week. And our third and final candidate for Vulgar Parent of the Week. Parents charged with running over toddler during domestic dispute. A toddler was rushed to the hospital after being run over in the midst of an argument between his parents. Quote, when I saw the baby on the ground, like under the front wheel, that's when I ran out of the house screaming. The baby's on the ground. Y'all done hit the baby, neighbor Sharita Rader said. Rader was one of several neighbors awakened Wednesday morning at 3 o'clock to the sound of a fight. Neighbors say the start fighted when Tamara Roscoe came home late from a party. Her boyfriend, Jacobian Benner,
I like that
that's
name.
quite a name,
Power name.
then started arguing with her at the Autumnwood Apartments. And the fight spilled out into the apartment complex's parking lot. There, Benner opened fire. Hold on a second.
So he shot
Okay, not in
at
the headline.
baby mama.
Hold on, yeah. Whoa, I thought this was just a terrible case of a fight with a baby in the car. Whatever.
No,
He opened fire. He discharges.
a weapon
Wow.
at baby mama and child.
Now, according to officers, no one was shot, thankfully. He just
Well,
probably
and
did
they
one of those
said that they
office
were-
pops. He just office popped.
They were very drunk, which kind of eliminates half of the issues here.
Right. So
Yeah,
this
we
is
were
about the
drunk.
time when
Chalk it up
Roscoe's
as that.
family arrived, and they arrived to take her 1-year-old daughter and got into a car. As she was pulling out of the area, the toddler fell out of the car and got run over.
So I respect the fact that the family picks up the daughter, like
trying to, yeah.
dad's shooting guns, like mom and
Mom's
dad
wasted,
are fighting.
they're
like,
wasted.
we need to get the kid out of here.
There's a car involved.
Why is this like? How does anybody fall out of a car?
What is this? Dukes of Hazzard?
And like, dude, unless you're driving around in a like one of those Jeep Wranglers and decide to have all the doors and stuff off,
The kid has a skull fracture, dude.
Yeah.
Now that could be from falling out of the car.
could be
Or
from
being
being
run
run
over.
over, or like who knows what mom and dad are doing in their off time.
Wow. Roscoe told investigators that after Jacobian, it's hard to say these names, Jacobian hit her in the face, dragged her by her hair, and fired a shot. She put King in the front passenger seat of the car and put the car in reverse to drive off. Quote, "It was just an accident. The baby was in the car, and the car door was open. That's how he fell out."
I feel like, and I don't have a child, but the two of you, well, your children are no longer children. Your children
Arguably.
But I'm saying, I would like to think 30 years ago, if you put me in the car, that you would have closed the door or like
Car seat.
buckled me in.
Car
Yeah,
seat.
you know,
Yeah.
a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. That's
If I
me.
had time.
If you had time.
If I was trying to get away from your dad who was trying to shoot me or something, maybe not.
You still wouldn't even close the door?
It's hard to say. It's a very emotional situation. You're at Autumnwood
Well, I
Apartments.
figured if I drove off fast enough, the momentum would close the door for me.
There you have it.
There
That's
you go.
good.
All right. Well,
Physics.
Man.
But the kid wasn't holding on. I told him to hold
But
on.
2 years old.
His 1-year-old.
even
One-year-old.
worse.
Oh.
Even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
That's why they made the cut this week as well. All right. Again, told you you'd feel good about your own parenting. All right. So here's the 3 nominees. All right. And Julie, you get to be. Sorry, I feel really inappropriate calling you by your first name, Ms. Choops. You get to be the deciding vote. So
No pressure.
I'm going to kick it off here,
All right.
and then I'm going to turn it over to your fabulous son, who has coached my life in so many positive and negative ways. And then you're going to be the deciding factor here. All right. So first up, was it the parents who kicked out their possessed child?
Yeah.
Was it the parents who waterboarded their 12-year-old? Or was it their parents who ran over their infant in a gunfight?
At 3 a.m, drunk.
That's right. So here I go. I'm going to choose. I'm going to go. Ooh, gosh, so close. Very, 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 very tough this week. Ooh, I'm going to go with the waterboarding parents. One, because the United Nations already said this was a bad idea when battling prisoners of war, actual war, not prisoners of your family, your poor, shitty marriage, but prisoners of war aren't allowed to do this. And they are so vulgar, they literally just blurted it out to a caseworker and openly
Yeah, we
admitted,
did
or
this.
else there wouldn't be a case. There would be no case. All right, so that's my
That's
vote.
okay.
All right. Coach Choops, who do you got this
am
week?
going with Rindy and the parents that threw their 7-year-old out
Yeah, because
for
they're
allegedly
possessed.
being possessed because a 7-year-old wasn't listening to him.
Yeah, obviously possessed, and they're on
And
meth.
they're on meth.
And they're on meth.
So I think that the parents that how what does this child have to do that you sit there and be like, boy, you got the demons and it's time to go?
What parent hasn't thought, boy, you got the demons and you have to go to your room?
Well, yeah, to your room, sure, or like go stand in the corner. It's time
Yeah.
for timeout, but like,
Not on an adventure for the rest of your life.
yeah, no, you're out of here.
Cast off.
Yeah, I think that they're going to have to be the Texas couple are going to be my vote this week for the vulgar parent.
There you go. All right, Miss Choops.
There's not a good option here.
There's not a good option.
And it's really hard to vote because there is no rhyme or reason to this podcast.
No,
Nor are these parents'
don't
skills. So, what if I vote for the
you win.
third one?
Then you would still win.
You get the trump because you have the trump card. You also raised Choops. So really your vote is like 1.5.
Yeah, so
You
you
know.
still win.
Yeah,
You both have good arguments. The
So
United
the-
Nations,
as usual, we have good arguments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
possessed, but it's a 1-year-old. And
Okay,
they drove over the kid.
they didn't shut the door.
So the kid
Or-
fell out. So it was more
or
the kid's
buckle-
fault.
Well, no, I'm saying it's
They also
it's-
drank too much. They also stayed out too late. They also discharged a firearm, and then they also
the
didn't
streets.
use. I mean, there's a litany.
of
Yeah.
like
All
things
right.
that went wrong. That if all you had to do is stop.
She's got my vote. She just swayed me.
I feel like that baby had less of a chance than a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old.
You're
At
right. By then,
least-
they've got some skills. They have
yeah,
some life
the
skills.
12-year-old can speak up.
what a
The
great
7-year-old, the baby. I got nothing. I gotta go baby.
All right,
Gotta go
I
with
gotta
the
go
baby.
baby.
What are
Gotta
the?
go,
You have to say
baby.
Jacobian. Is that the dad's name?
You gotta bring up
Jacobian?
those names again
That's
hold
enough.
on. Jacobian and
because we want to make sure it's spelled right on the plaque.
Tamara, and Jacobian.
All right, Tamara Roscoe and Jacobian Benner.
Brenner.
Congratulations.
You are the Vulgar Parent of the Week. Oh man, this is Vulgar Parent of the Week.
Miss Choops, thank you so much for being a part of this
Thanks,
week's
Mom.
podcast.
You're welcome.
Is it
was
true?
Fun.
Is it true that you have listened to every single podcast we put out so far?
Yes. No. There was one of them I did not listen to because
It was the bachelor party episode, wasn't it?
Yeah,
what number is that?
number 3.
Yeah,
Number 3.
It was
because
bad.
I was mowing the yard and listening, and I was getting ready to go to number 3.
Oh my God.
And I talked to Derek, and Derek's like, "Mom, don't listen to it." And I'm like, you saying don't listen to it means I'm
Like a
going to
child,
listen
like,
to
now
it.
I want
That's
it,
right.
like-
It's like, don't push the red button.
And he's like, "Mom, no, seriously. It has to do with strip clubs and 18-year-olds." And I'm like, got it. I
So-
won't listen
yeah,
to
so
it.
Derek's the good son.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I skipped
absolutely.
number 3.
Which is probably for the best.
Amazing.
I skipped number 3.
Yes.
Awesome.
Because you probably would not have listened to number 4.
That's right. That would have been it. Right
I
there.
listened to number 4.
I know, but I'm saying had you
listened to number 3, you might have given up on the entire podcast.
Yeah.
in general.
If it-
and probably me as a person.
Probably.
Wait a
as a
minute.
person.
If it was that bad, would I have waterboarded you? Just because?
Probably.
dropping knowledge on this
All
pod
right.
right now.
Yeah, probably. And I probably would just let you do it, and then like out of just shame.
Dude, you're about to get replaced on this podcast. I'll be texting your mom for articles.
What do you think of this?
There you go. All right, Miss Choops, thank you so much.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
the
All
support.
right. Fun.
Thanks for coming down.
out, Mom.
No
There you go.
problem. Thanks.
All right, guys, it's been a fantastic show. I want to thank Ms. Choops.
Mama Bear.
How was that? Having Mama Bear in the studio.
It was great until she like admitted that she would waterboard me. Had she known that it was an option, like
That was pretty amazing.
Wait a minute.
Like, we've been working on this podcast for a long time now, and it all became suddenly worth it when I'm sitting here watching your mother consider waterboarding you. I
Yeah.
feel like all my hard work has finally paid off.
And if that doesn't explain the type of child I was, I don't know much was. What else would?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I probably would waterboard you. Actually,
Actually, yeah, had I known about it back then, yeah, it might have been an option. Thank God your mom didn't have an access to Urban Dictionary or just the UN.
yeah.
All right, well, it is time to get this thing out and on the road. Come on, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap It Up is brought to you by CondomDepot.com. If you're not yet ready to become another vulgar parent, visit CondomDepot.com for a great selection at affordable prices, plus free and discreet shipping. That's CondomDepot.com. All right, our final segment for episode 19. It's been a good one. News comes to us from the New York Daily News that a elementary school faces criticism after removing toilet paper rolls from its restrooms. A Florida elementary school faces backlash after reports that it refused to put toilet paper in the restroom stalls. The Carter G. Woodson Elementary School in Jacksonville, of course it's Jacksonville,
Classic Florida move right
classic
there.
Florida move, removed the rolls and instead opted to have teachers, quote, hand out wads of toilet paper. Dear Lord. One concerned mother reported she said she was worried about sanitation with toilet paper being passed out hand to hand from teacher to student.
I think that's the least of my worry. I mean, I don't know.
Peterson began sending her 4th grade daughter to school with a roll of toilet paper in a Ziploc bag before eventually transferring her to another school. Quote, I told her, your new school, they're going to have toilet paper in the bathrooms. My daughter got so excited.
Jesus. First off, lady, like
Fuck, the bar is so
like
low.
you were, yeah, exactly.
The
Like,
bar is so low.
hey, guess what, Sally? There's gonna be
Honey,
toilet paper
At
in
your
your
new school, they have everything.
even toilet paper.
And electricity,
Yeah, like what kind of backward ass school is this?
indoor plumbing, hot meals.
And then here's the other problem, and I feel like as a guy, it's probably not as big of an issue because I mean, just shake it out, you know?
Here's a great comment by Facebook user Ann Clayton. She wrote, parents with children who come home with racing stripes in their underwear should consider sending it back to the school the next day in a bag, instructing the child to give it to the underwear with a note to their teacher. Oh my God, that's why I fucking hate social media.
You know. But my thing is like, if the teacher's gonna hand me a wad of TP, like, how if I gotta take a number 2, I don't know how much TP I'm gonna need. You know, sometimes it's a 1 or 2 white job.
Why do you gotta
Sometimes I
ration?
need 6 or 7 whites.
Why do you
You
gotta
never
ration
know.
it? Yeah, you don't have to ration that.
Yeah, no. Like,
You come back and be like, hey, I need more.
it was too late at that point.
What happened? That's what they don't explain. Did like
I think
some
it
crazy
was,
kid TP
I think it was
something?
like wasting
It was a-
toilet paper or something like
It was
that.
a cost cutting thing.
I think so. Or maybe they're
Bro.
going green. I don't know.
Going brown. Dude,
That's the other
that's
option.
terrible.
Yeah.
Classic Florida, much less Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Listen,
Buy some toilet paper, put it in the fucking schools, let the kids wipe their ass.
if you have to get your child excited about their new school, about changing schools, like not like tears, like
And it's
I'm gonna
I-
miss my friends,
or anything like, but
I like my teacher.
no.
I'm in this club. I'm on this sports
Nope.
team. Nothing. Toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Dear God, the bar is so low.
Yeah.
That is fucking terrible. Get your life right. I swear to God, Florida. Every time I think I'm gonna retire there, I think, well, I see a fresh hurricane or a fresh article like this, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know what?
I'll pass. It's a hard pass. It's a good weekend getaway.
Yeah.
That's about it. All right, final shouts outs. First up, come back, President Miller. Come back from vacation.
Next week.
Back from the Hamptons with lots of stories to tell, I am sure. Check him out at President Miller on,
Instagram and Twitter, I
I
believe.
think those are the only ones he's on. I like that he got into the notes and wrote, better plug me, bitches, into the show prep, because this is a shared document we have.
Yeah.
It's written right there.
Is it really? He
It says,
got in
better
here?
plug me, bitches.
Hold on. Wait, I gotta find this.
It says it at the bottom, right there. While you're finding that, gonna plug myself here and not sound so fucking weird and gross about it. Gonna plug myself here? God, I'm not even gonna do it. At Scotty Boombox on everything. Reply, new phone, who dis?
We got it. Don't worry.
Life Coach Choops. Find him.
Yeah.
Tell him where they can find you.
At Ryan C. Life Coach on Twitter. At rchoops on Instagram.
Mhm.
And then I just want to give it a shout out and thanks again to Mom for coming over here late at night on very short notice to help us out with our horrible podcast.
Julia,
You were amazing.
sharp as a tack.
See you soon.
Did so well. All right, y'all. This has been the Vulgar Parenting Podcast. Thanks for listening. Subscribe now on iTunes. Give us that 5-star rating. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/the VP Podcast. Follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at Vulgar Parenting. Email the show, vulgarparenting@gmail.com. And of course, check out everything we do at vulgarparenting.com.